It's been a long time since I tried to make an arrowhead from a little flake, or a thin flake. Let's see, this one is well, it's a little over 3 inches, the longest dimension, but I'm going to lose quite a bit. It's slightly curved, so I'm probably going to take some off the tip and the base. But yeah, I've sold a bunch of this kind of flake, and I assume somebody's making arrowheads out of it. But yeah, I haven't made one of these in a long time. Let's see if I can do it without breaking. These require a lot of persnickety patience. What is that? That's just picking at it very slowly and very carefully. If you don't pick at this slowly and carefully, you will break it. And I have success maybe half the time with these, even at the level that I am after many years. This is a heat treat flake. Yeah, I don't have success with these all the time. If you break a lot of these, it's normal. A lot of times you'll have to get used to working extremely thin material. So just to get used to it, this is not including the breaks with pieces that you're almost finished with, but just to get used to it, you'll break some of these. But of course, you buy a whole box of these and you got plenty to practice on. So yeah, it's going to just be a video of picking at it very slowly. And yes, you can pick at it with indirect percussion if you use a thin rod. Not much force. It's a lot less fatiguing than try to shape it with pressure. For some people, you know, like me, I don't like to expend my energy pressure flaking when I can do it so much more easily with percussion. And I'll save my pressure flaking muscles for when I'm trying to finish it. One of the things that's a hazard is if you start early with pressure, you're going to end up trying to do the most delicate work with the most fatigued muscles. That doesn't make much sense. Yeah, the most delicate work is at the end when your muscles are the most tired. That's not a good formula. So, I'll wait. I'll do as much as I can with this. If it breaks, oh well. I got plenty. I got other ones here. I got bunches of thin flakes. Bunches and bunches. No, I could just shape it around the edges and call it good. Yeah, and sharpen this end because it's not sharp on this side. It's very sharp on this side. But I'm going to lose a bunch of that because it's a little bit too thin. Yes, it can be too thin. It breaks extremely easily, and you can even break an edge like this on hair. If you're shooting at something with a lot of hair, you can break the edge just on the hair of the animal if you want to use it for hunting. If you're looking at artifacts that are made on flakes, some of them are very thin. But my theory is that those are used for warfare, and they're intended to break. Human skin is not that tough, so it can cause a pretty good wound in a human, but not so much on a big animal, and sometimes not even on a small animal. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, I gotta take the curve out. And the only way to do that is to lose length. You can leave a little bit of it in. I've seen artifacts like that. They leave a little bit of the curve in. But again, that's probably for fighting. Doesn't take much to wound somebody. And many times you just want to wound them. You don't want to kill them, because wounding takes more than one person out of the battle. Because if you're just wounded, someone's got to help you, either to bandage you or quickly get you off the battlefield so they can extract the arrow or whatever. And you usually need some help. I don't know. There's some guys that are tough enough to pull the arrow out themselves, or to, you know, do the surgery to open up the wound and take it out. But usually you need someone to help you do that. So it takes more people out of the battle than just killing somebody. Soldiers know that. Anyway. It's getting there little by little. Some people say, I can't even reach that stage, dude. It breaks as soon as I touch it. Yeah, I know. That happens to me too. As soon as I touch the flake, sometimes it breaks. Yep. Just gotta get another flake. I just pick at these little by little if I have the patience. Many times I'm not in the mood for these. You got to be in a mood. I was looking around. What am I going to do? Today is usually my day for lots of videos, but I was doing other things today. I know, not supposed to. I'm supposed to watch my channel. I mean, I'm supposed to maintain my channels. I know. This side's more curved than this side, so I'll take this side back. And it's curved in this way too. So I don't know what I'm going to do about that. We'll see. It might not be thin enough to straighten out completely. I mean, might not be thick enough. It might be too thin. I might have to leave some of the curve in, you know, both in this direction and in this direction. Maybe. We'll see. I get requests to do thin points on thin flakes. I always get requests to do thin points, but I sometimes get requests on these flakes. These tempting yet torturous thin flakes. Tempting yet torturous. Yeah. It's not as easy as it looks when it's finished. It might not look easy as I'm doing it right now, but when it's finished, it looks so easy. Yeah, that was made on a flake. Piece of cake. No skill. Yeah. Anyone can do that. Anyone can make an arrowhead on a flake. Yeah. Almost anyone. Anyone can with enough practice. You might ask, even someone who's not artistically inclined Oh yeah. Don't need to be an artiste. Nope. Alright. I don't know why I had the glove on. I'm not using much force at all, so these flakes are not gonna do much damage. Let's see. Even if I end up sending one into my finger, it's not gonna be a big one. This is a small item. Very, very small. Probably should zoom in, huh? But then it'll be a video of cat and mouse with the focus and staying in frame. Trying to chase the arrowhead around. Try to keep it in view. It doesn't really matter if it's curved in this direction, but I want to run some nice flakes if I can, just to demonstrate running flakes on thin material. It helps when it's heat treat. On raw pieces, you just kind of have to do the trim around the edges thing, like what I'm doing now, and just call it good once it's a triangular shape. Don't even notch it. Yeah, a lot of most. I'm going to take a little venture out on a limb and say that most arrowhead designs for true arrows are just a simple triangle, and most tribes have made these at one time or another. Just simple triangular arrowheads for true arrows. Now, atlatl darts might be a different story. I think atlatl dart points are mostly stemmed and or notched. Some kind of stem, some kind of notch arrangement. You can say that these triangle ones have stems. It's just the stem is very wide, and you can wrap around wherever you want. Down here, the lower 1/3 or 1/4 of the arrowhead can be considered a stem, and you can wrap it around this way. It was 100 degrees or more today with 5% humidity. So it's like living in a dehydrator. That's why my bow wood doesn't survive out here. A couple of seasons of that, you think the bow wood is nice and cured and well dry. Yeah, it's well dry, all right. I have bow staves, or I used to, stacked up that were totally useless because they were too dry. Yeah. I said, it doesn't matter. I used to say, it didn't matter too much if they're too dry. Just bring them inside the house for a little while. Yeah. Then make the bow. So I started doing that. Didn't work. Once it's dried down to a very low moisture content, it's very difficult to reconstitute. It becomes, I don't know, it becomes a different wood after it's really, really dry. I mean, we're expecting 100-degree temperatures for weeks on end now that it's summertime. Not just a couple of days. If it was just a couple of days a month, it wouldn't be too bad. You might say, well, what about Osage Orange? That survives. I don't know. You haven't been in this kind of weather, but it's okay. It's okay to believe that kind of stuff. I used to believe that too. Yep. You'll see. If you're in this business long enough, you'll see it all. Oh yes. You'll see everything. Eventually. And then some new guy will say, just use Osage. It survives. What is Osage? Osage Orange, the king of bowwoods. I do have to admit, it is the king. Oh yeah, it's excellent stuff. Beautiful. It gets darker as it gets older. You know, you leave it. It ages well. It's bright yellow when you're first working it, but then it becomes more mellow in color and darker as it ages to a very nice color. Oh yes. That's just one aspect. That's nice. That's just one thing. It's got several good qualities. Except the growing straight part. Unfortunately, it's difficult to find them growing straight. Although if you have a hedgerow of Osage like they used to, you could trim out a shoot. Every once in a while you'll find a shoot 2 inches or 1.5 inches or something wide enough to make a bow out of. That's just growing out of the middle of the bunch of trunks, because you know, when you plant a hedgerow, you cut it and you pleach it so you have a lot of suckers that are coming up. But anyway, I watched too many videos. Yeah. I watched too many videos on that kind of stuff. So no one knows what I'm talking about. No one knows about coppicing or hedgerows or pleaching or pollarding, tree management stuff. They don't know that stuff. You watch enough videos, you'll see. Did I mention coppicing? Coppice. C-O-P-P-I-C-E. Very interesting concept. Very interesting practice. Okay, I'll zoom in for this because this is not too dark, not too difficult. I don't have to hold this pressure flaking pad too close to me. This is the Ishi stick, but I'm not really using it as such because I'm not putting any leverage on it. I'm just using wrist motion. It helps to use a domed pad, although this one's getting indented, so it's a little bit dicey. But you know what? I got one in reserve. Yep. Let's see. I'm trying to do this through the viewfinder, so if I'm fumble fingers, that's the reason. I just dome it. I round it around the edges. I just make it domed and leave about 1/8 of an inch here. And then on this, you just kind of squish it. Squish it and scrunch it. And lo and behold, it becomes domed. And you just put glue there and glue here. Although what I do is, this is where I usually glue it, on this side. And I leave the fuzzy side out. This glues better to the wood, so you scrunch it. Those of you who don't have domed pads, which many of you do not, this is for you. It becomes domed. You scrunch it like that. Contact cement, stick it together, and you got a domed pad that'll look like something like this after about a year of using it. Yep. Alright, where was I? Talking about these things will sell for $100 each, right? These little bitty arrowheads, they sell for $100. Really? No, not really. Not even close. I've been to places where I have a hard time selling these for $5 each. And sometimes, if I'm lucky, someone's looking for a specific style, they'll pay $15. Yeah. Not like this, I haven't finished it, but in the finished state, you know, between $5 and $15. How long is it going to take me? It's going to take me a while, and you can do the math. If I don't break it, because I might go through 2 or 3 of these and break them after 15, 20 minutes. So you tag that on to the time it takes. And doing the math, you can figure out how much or how quickly you can get rich. Yeah. Oh, yes. Some of you might say, you're just being sarcastic. It's not fair. Not fair to us who are trying to learn. Making us all bummed out. Sorry. Sorry, not sorry? No, I am sorry. I am sorry that this doesn't pay that much. It makes up for it in satisfaction. How's that? It is satisfying to sit there and gloat when you made a nice point. You're over there sitting in a chair in the kitchen and you're looking at something all gloaty. Someone says, "What are you doing over there? Something good on TV, come watch it." And you say, "No, I'm gloating. Leave me alone. I want to gloat." So that's what you do. You gloat over these finely made, beautiful stone technology items. Yeah. Yeah, still got a curve at the tip a little bit. Am I going to take that out by making it even thinner? I don't know. I'm going to lose. I don't know if I should lose off the base or the tip. Oh gosh, I don't know. What's the average size for a true arrow point? Take all the arrow points from all of Native American history, from every area in North America, average them all up. What's the average? Somebody quick. You guys who have read the entire internet pertaining to arrowheads, I know you're out there. What's the average size? Because I know you've read the entire internet at least twice. Yeah. When it pertains to projectile points and arrow points. Yeah. As you know, immediately when someone says something about arrowheads that you don't agree with, that's because it's not anywhere on the internet. It doesn't say that anywhere on the internet, because I read it all. But in your case, it's true. You have read it all. And you caught him. You caught him in the act of being ignorant, saying ignorant things, and you know it, and they know it, because they have not read the whole internet, but you have. Yep. Some of you always say, there's always someone in the comments saying, "I think your channel will probably do better if you just keep it strictly historical and pertaining to the skill of knapping." Pertain only to skill of knapping, please. Yeah. What if I told you I don't have a lot of skill? You want to learn mediocre skills? There's guys that are better than I am. Would that be good? But I get it. I get it. What am I gonna do? I'm encountering step fracturing. I'm goofing around. If I do several passes, I can probably get a nice flake pattern going that goes all the way to the middle instead of just along the edge. I don't know what I'm going to do on this edge. Just pick at it. I might have a big old original flake scar right in the middle of both sides, which is fine. But I don't want to have step fractures like that. That's just nasty. Yeah. Nasty. So usually these days I don't explain much. I just go off on tangents. Yeah. I don't explain what I'm doing or my motivations. Don't hurt my views at all. In fact, I'm thinking it helps. Yeah. When I go off on tangents, I get surprised. Sometimes those videos go pretty far as views. So I don't care. Yeah. Everyone's already heard it anyway. You guys have already watched all of YouTube. Heard it all. You know you're out there. You've watched more videos than I could ever do in my lifetime. I mean, let's say I started if I was 15, starting doing YouTube. I could never catch up to how many videos you've already watched. Yeah. Some of you guys consume videos like Cookie Monster. Just leave the crumbs everywhere. Yeah. Aggressively devour videos. I had time to do that when I was at work. After hours, not during work. Yeah, too many people spying on you at work. You can't do it at work because they'll go, "You're not working. What are you doing over there?" I'm hearing click, click, click. What is it? But after hours, yeah, we used to have people working late shifts, so I could stay late if I wanted to. I could, I go into the shop, I check on those late guys. What you doing, man? Oh, we're just working on blah, blah, blah. I got a lot of welding to do and stuff. Cool. Let me know when you just go to my office when you're finished. I'll take some pictures and make some notes. That way I don't have to do it tomorrow. All right. You going to be in your office all night? No, not all night. Just a little while. All right. You think I'm working in there and just watching videos? After hours. I got to make sure you know that. after hours, when my job is technically done for the day. But that's the only time I had time to actually sit down and watch a bunch of videos back to back. I could do it at home, but I was in a situation where I'd go to work, clock out. Well, I wasn't on a clock, I was on a salary. I'd get out of work, go home, and there's no way I could relax when I got there. I'd hit the ground running as soon as I got home. It was more work at home than at work. Yeah. That's what it's like when you got a bunch of kids. Try to sit down and watch a video. And you're neglecting somebody. Now, you could say, well, you stay late at work, that means you're neglecting them. Well, yes. But I could also check in on the guys at the shop, whatever. I could make an excuse. Yeah. Anyway, that was my last job. I didn't pay too much attention to arrowheads before then. No. It took me a long time. I made arrowheads and arrows and bows and stuff when I was little, and there was a big stretch of time where I didn't do any of that. I went to college. I tried to get a decent job. Got married. Yada yada yada. No time for hobbies. Nothing. For many, many years. Finally got back into it. And now I'm doing it. It's part-time. And I'm making part-time income. We'll see how it goes. It can be enjoyable sometimes. Everyone's nice to me. That's really nice. That's really cool. Yeah. The people make a big difference. Unfortunately, sometimes in the corporate environment, the people are meh. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's not. But when it's not, it's really not. I've been to those. I've been working at those places. When it's not good, it's really not good. And the stress just mounts, and you're going, dang. How can anyone work here for a long time? How long you been here, Joe? Oh, I don't know, 17 years, I think. Golly. I've been here 7 months, and it's driving me up the wall already. Yeah. All right. Are we going to do some pressure flaking or some flint napping? Are we going to do flint napping? Or are we just going to do yapping? Flint yapping. I'm trying to do flint napping, but the flakes aren't really traveling all that well. Mainly because there's not much platform. And you know how that goes. Yeah. You know, if there's not much platform, there's not much flake. There's not much pressure edge. Not much pressure surface on the edge. You're not going to get much flake. You can get some. It's a struggle. Yeah, that's a good one. Got lucky. Yeah, I don't know. Am I getting a good flaking pattern, or I'm just a wannabe? I think I'm just a wannabe. Wannabe making good flaking patterns. All right. Yeah, I can think back to my previous jobs now that I'm out, free, and recovered from that environment, I can look back and it's not like flashbacks, painful flashbacks. It's not like that anymore. It used to be. Oh, I was so burnt out. I didn't even want to think about any of that. I don't even know if I'm fully recovered because I still don't want to do drawings. I did drawings for 14 years. At least. Yeah, dimension drawings. I don't know, maybe I have not recovered fully because I don't want to, I'm still not very enthusiastic about doing drawings. I could be doing them all day long, but I don't. Yeah. Anyways, you don't want to know what I went through. It wasn't that hard. It's just monotonous sometimes. And then if you don't know about proper diet and exercise, or you don't care, or you don't have time, or you just can't afford it, you don't do it. And yes, eating properly is expensive if you don't really know what to do. You're thinking, okay, well, we're going to go get some organic stuff. Supposedly is good, right? Supposedly. But look at the price tags. Dang it. But it's okay. It's good for you. All right. There you go. So, man, I can't eat like this all the time. For the price that I'm paying now, I could have eaten for 2 weeks instead of 5 days. Yeah. Hey, we're going to the islands even with these little arrowheads. Oh yes. Same issues with the little ones as you get with the big ones. Don't feel like you're going to be left out. You're going to have the same challenges with the small ones as you do with the big ones. Oh, nice. Oh, yes. The heat treat makes it so nice. Come on. All right. I could be doing that with a pressure flaker, but it's easy with a sharp tipped percussion flaker, relatively speaking. Relatively easy. That means it's not really that easy, but it's easier than pressure flaking it, because percussion allows you to drive wider, longer flakes in most cases. If you don't break it. Yeah, that's the catch. Ooh, I need to go further than that. Which means I need to hit harder, which means it increases the risk of snappage. It's been 39 minutes already. It's already, you know, really super thin. That's the good part. I didn't need to spend a lot of time thinning. What I gotta do now is spend a lot of time not breaking it and spend a lot of time trying to install some nice looking flakes. If I can. If I can't, I'll just leave it kind of wonky. As far as flake pattern, you know, random and kind of wherever they go, that's where they go. I guess that's what random means, right? But sometimes my flakes are extremely random. How's that? I don't know, can I push flakes that far? They're going about, let's see, how much is that? They're going about a 1/4 inch, maybe? Yeah, they're traveling about a 1/4 inch easily. If I try to do that down here, I'm not going to go that far. I got to start driving them longer than a 1/4 inch. Yikes. All right, on a thin piece, there's something that's already thin. All right, let's see. Yeah, I'm just going to work the edges, and then once in a while I'll drive a flake if I see an opportunity. What does it mean to work the edges? Just chip them. It's downward pressure for this phase, because all I'm doing is narrowing it so that my flakes have a better chance of reaching the middle or near the middle. They don't have to, as long as they terminate nicely. As long as they feather out and there's no step fractures in the middle, they don't have to reach the middle because it's already thin. See, the rule is to thin it, it has to go to the middle. The flakes have to go to the middle or further. But if it's already thin, they just need to make the edge sharp and not be steppy. Yeah, that's it. Easy peasy. Now, what kind of heat treat is this? What stone is this? Is it a Texas rock? I think it is a Texas stone, but don't quote me on it because there's a lot of other good places to find stone. But yeah, it's probably Texas. Someone might say, yeah, sure, there's a lot of places to find good stone, sure. Not where I live. I gotta drive 4 days to get any. Oh, I know. I know the struggles. Oh, yes, I do. I drive 4 days each way, and I only get little pebbles. Yeah. Oh, I've heard it before, and it's true. Sometimes you drive 4 days each way in the rain, in the ice storm, just to end up with 1 bucket of pebbles, maybe 2 inches. Is it? And they're not even good. I end up putting them in my aquarium. And then my fish died. Yes, I know all the struggles. I think I've put flakes and stuff in my aquariums that we've had. Yeah, because kids love to have little fish. Yeah, they love the fish. And they go, Dad, look at those flakes and chips. You can put those in there because we don't have to go buy them. And I said, okay. All right, we'll just do that. I can help with that. I know I can do that. Yeah, I might not be able to do too many things, but I can do that. Just wash them up really good. Wash up the flakes really good. We did not have a tumbler or anything, so we just stuck them in there like that. Never really bothered the fish. Although I could have tumbled them. I could have bought a little tumbler and tumbled a bunch of flakes, which is a kind of a neat idea. Let me see. But yeah, you can do other things. Like, I think somebody was making a mosaic with some flakes that they had purchased. Or someone mentioned it. You can make a mosaic with debitage flakes and do this trimming of the of the flakes to make different shapes, you know, little squares or whatever, and do mosaics with different types of flakes. If you're into that sort of stuff, there's all kinds of possibilities. I don't want to do mosaics. I'm looking to do big blades. What are you talking about? That's it. Big blades. 8 inches or better. That's what I'm looking for. Yeah, I know. Me too. I don't know what you're doing with blades 8 inches or more. Making big old knives, I suppose. I got to get out and look at what people are making. I do see a lot of knives and stuff on Instagram and Facebook and on the internet. So that's what I'm assuming everyone's making with those big items, especially obsidian blades. I've seen them 8, 9, 10, up to, you know, 20 inches long. I don't know what they're doing with those. I don't know. So yeah, I'm just picking at this to beef up the edge. I might start doing some, well, I am going to start trying to do some big, longer flakes here in a minute. I'm going to sharpen this steel. Yeah, it takes just as long to do a little one. If you don't want to break it, it takes just as long to do a little one as it does a big one. You got the same issues as well, because step fractures look just as bad on a little one as they do on a big one. Oh yes. Maybe even worse. I don't know. Uh-oh. Here we go. Here we go. Now some of you might be wondering, do my kids speak with a strange accent? Do they have a South Texas accent? From the Rio Grande Valley? Some of you catch on really quick and you know where that accent's from. No, they don't. They did for a while because we spent a long time down there. Comparatively speaking, they spent like half their childhood there. And they were starting to talk like that a little bit. But no, I picked it up mainly from their relatives down there. Yeah. Whenever we go visit the family. Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. Of course, when you go down to South Texas, it's like Mexico, USA. Yeah. Different culture down there. It's American, but it's different. All right, this is when I start. I'm gonna do another pass, and that's it. This is when I start trying to make some pretty patterns. Okay, so I need some dullness, and I don't know. I might be dulling it too much. But yeah, my kids, they don't have an accent. Not that I can tell. It's maybe slightly Texan, not Texican, although that is an accent too. But no, They barely have one. And if I just talk normally, I don't have much of one. I do have some because people will say, where's that accent from? So I have an accent of some sort. But I try not to. I gotta live with myself too, you know. Yeah. I get annoyed with myself. Alright, where's this file that I need? I gotta make this more pointy for this next pass. Yeah, and I got family down there. Well, it's not South Texas, but it's like northeast Mexico. I got family there. Once in a while, we go over to the Mexican side and visit a few relatives. Yep, yep. I start speaking a little Spanish and pick it up, and then by the time I'm learning a few good words, we have to leave. So, well. Oh well. Maybe someday. I don't know if I'll ever retire there. It's too hot. If it wasn't so hot, yeah, okay, fine. I think I could retire there. It's so dang hot. It's like a desert. No, it's not like. It is a desert. At least where northeastern Mexico is. You start getting into the mountains further inland, it's nicer. Oh yeah. Maybe there, but it's still hot in the summertime in the mountains over there. It's just more green. It has more greenery, and there's rivers. Yes. It's nice to see the rivers. All right. Come on. I'm afraid to break it. So I'm not pressing too hard. Ouch. If I continue this way, I'm going to snap it. If I'm not too careful, if I'm just being way too aggressive, I'll snap it. Yeah, this is the hardest edge. So once I get this one done, the other ones won't be so bad, I don't think. This is the thickest edge. And maybe it's just the easiest because it is the thickest, but we'll see. Sometimes you need a lot of meat on the edge in order to do it right. I'm just pushing downward so I can get the shape. I'm not worried about the flake pattern. I already sent in the flakes I'm going to send in, and they're not going in further than 1/4 inch. I don't dare push harder than this. So what I'm doing is I'm just trimming it down so that I can do the pass on the other side. I don't need to, but I'm going to try to do it. I'm going to try to do a pass on the other side as well. So I'm just going to trim it down, get rid of the weak spots. And I know this is dulling it again, but this final pass on the other side is going to sharpen it up again. And I might leave those little serrations in there. It's looking like a mod point. You might say, it's a mod point. That's what you're doing. You're doing a mod. What's a mod point? M-A-U-D. Mod. M-A-U-D. But they're smaller than this. Yeah. I've seen mod points in person. They're smaller than this. How big is this? It's still more than 1.5 inches. Some of these mod points are only 1 inch long. But they've got delicate little bitty serrations, even if they're 1 inch long. Yeah. And then sometimes they got parallel flaking, which is a trip. Thin as potato chip. Yeah. I'm not kidding. I mean, truly thin as a potato chip. But no, it's, well, I guess I could make a mod point, but I'm going to put notches in it. And since I'm using modern tools, it's just going to be an art piece. So no one fusses like, why are you using modern tools to make an ancient looking arrowhead? Why? It seems blasphemous. Yeah. Well, I'm not above doing stuff that's blasphemous. Who said I'm too good for doing blasphemous things? Who said? Well, this is flaking not too bad. I thought this thinner edge was gonna mess me up. It's not too bad. Yeah. Alrighty, now we got to trim this back. It's already 58 minutes. And we still got a little ways to go. I'm not there yet. Go back to sleep in the back seat. You guys back there. Remember. But Dad, we can't sleep because we're all bunched together and it's too hot. Yeah. Just get there quickly. As soon as someone says that, I need to go to the bathroom. Yeah. I knew it. Stop, Dad. We gotta stop for bathroom break. I need to get some Takis. Also. Yeah. Don't feel human without my Takis. Someone in the comment section earlier on another video was saying that Takis is the food of the gods or something. Yeah, I mean, according to my kids, you are correct, sir. I can't stand the things. No, I personally don't like them. They're just way too dang salty. Although now, I don't know. I don't eat them now because they got wheat or cornmeal. They're made from carbohydrates, and I don't eat that stuff anymore. But when I tried them back in the day, I was like, dang, these things are super salty. Super! Like, you guys complain that I put salt on the chicken, but you're eating Takis, it feels like I'm using the salt shaker right onto my tongue. Yeah. What's up with this? Yeah, but it's different because it's got flavor. Okay, flavor. It's not salt, it's flavor. Yeah, I know. Just saying. To me, it tastes salty. Yeah, and you think in South Texas it would be kind of traditional. A lot of Mexican food down there. No? I mean, they have the traditional Mexican food, but if you don't have Doritos or something in there, you don't feel full. No, you gotta have some Doritos or something at the end. Takis. Or Cheetos. Oh, yeah. Okay, this is the moment of truth here. The very last pass, I could break something. Okay, come on. I don't know. Is it doing it? I don't see no flake scars. I don't see any steps, which is good, but I don't see the flake scars. Do I see them now? I think I see them now. Yeah. All right. Come on. Can you see? No? It's just picking at it. I can't even tell if I'm on the edge or above the edge or right on the edge. All I know is it's getting sharper. I might leave it jaggedy, but no. No. I gotta take down some of that edge. You can't even see. Not that it's important, because I can't see either. I'm just resting the point on the edge, and if it feels solid, I'll push on it. This time I am on the edge. I've said before that most of the Flintknapping doesn't occur on the very edge, but when it comes to sharpening, it's a different story. You can find a spot to push on. You're going to be right on the edge. I'm sure on a microscopic level you're actually mostly on the surface, but it feels like you're right on the edge. Like it feels like I'm right on the edge, but I might be slightly on the surface with the point of the tool. But it's just so, it's so fragile and delicate. That I can't imagine I'm right on the edge. It's got to be slightly above. Yeah. And the reason why it's not snapping because it's a little bit domed on the pad, and I took out the curve from the arrowhead. Right, I took out most of that curve, so it's pretty straight. It's a slight curve. Yeah. But for the most part, it's pretty straight. All right. Do I do the? Yeah, let's do the. No. Yeah. No. Yeah. No. Do the tip. I see some dissymmetry. It's not quite symmetrical. Hold on. I don't know how to say unsymmetrical properly. Unsymmetric. Dum 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 dum. I don't know why I'm worried about this edge. I just want it to look nicely serrated. How's that? But it's not being very successful. Sometimes I can put a serration in, sometimes I can't. I should probably sharpen this steel a little bit more. I'm doing it this way so I can see if I'm messing up the symmetry. Let's see. I could stain this so you can see, because it's hard to see the tip with a tan stone on a tan pad. What is it doing? What is it doing? Yeah, that's probably good enough. Good enough. Yeah, good enough. So I could leave it like that and it would be like a large mod point. But I'm going to put some notches in. Yep. Okay. Let's see. No. I don't want to use that one. Excuse me while I fumble with the tools here. Yeah, I'm dragging it back and forth, but sue me. I can get another one at Harbor Freight for like $5. Sandpaper costs more than the files these days. All right. Just simple side notches. I do need to be in the zone and focus on this because it's not as easy as it looks. On this size, it's not that easy. Even though I can put a lot of pressure on it and pop out these flakes, it's easy to hit the sides of the notch too. I want these notches slightly expanding because they look cool that they're slightly expanding. If I can manage it. Alright, I'm not going to push my luck. Alright, so I need the other side. Let's see, where is it going to start? On the real ones, sometimes one notch is higher than the other, so it's not that important. But it looks a little bit odd if it's not symmetrical. It does look a little odd, but they weren't perfectly symmetrical back in the day. Just so you know. And I can use it as plausible deniability. Yep. I'm just doing it like they do it. Yeah. I'm doing it like they used to. Oh yeah. All right. Come on. Uh-oh. That's probably because it's getting dull. No? Stalling it already? Let's see. Yeah, let me sharpen this. Sharpen the edge on this. It focuses pressure in a small area so that I can overcome it if it's starting to stall. Yeah, I need to go. I need a little more. Needs to go in a little more. Let's see if I can see where that nice edge is. It would help. Yeah. And you need a nice edge for pressing on. It's not always, the entire bottom of the notch is not always ideal. There's spots on it that are better than others. There you go. I just crunched the tip of that barb a little bit. Yeah, I crunched it. I heard a little. Oh well. As long as I can get that last little pop out, I'm good. All right. Okay, so now let's just finish up. Take away that little area that looks like I took off the barb and make it look like I did not take off the barb. Just snap it back a little bit. Ouch. Not that much. Taking this edge back a little bit and sharpening it just a little bit better if possible. Yeah, it's not that great. See, if you got it symmetrical already, you take a little bit off that edge, you got to work the whole edge just to make it symmetrical again. But good enough. Good enough. Yeah, and were there arrowheads like this? Oh, yes. Definitely. But it's an art point, so don't get all bent out of shape that I'm using modern tools for an ancient point, because it's an art point. Is it translucent? Maybe a little bit. Maybe. Can I make it even more pointy at the tip? Yeah, but I'm not gonna. Because it'll just be more torturous tip work, and it's not that fun. Believe it or not. I mean, the gloating is fun. You can go and gloat. You can gloat, but that's the fun part. But just getting there is not fun. Yeah. Oops. All right, so how thin is it? The thickest part's right there. So that's 1/8. Yeah. And then the thinnest part, 1/16. Yeah. It's a little more than a 1/2 inch right there. And 1/2 inch there, so if it's like 1/8 by 1/2, there's like 4:1 right there in the middle. As far as width to thickness, but it's okay. So yeah, made on a flake. And you can see part of the original flake scar in the middle. On this side, and part of the flake scar, original flake scar in the middle on that side. Okay. There you go.